Hey, congratulations for Neon Lights.
Hey, Gig, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for talking to us about this film. So let's ask that obligatory question. Where did you get that original idea for Neon Lights from?
Definitely. It's something that Rouzbeh and I, the director, really came up with at the height of the pandemic. We wanted to create something that was suspenseful, that was exciting, something that the audience would want to watch. But at the same time, we wanted to emphasize the themes that everybody was kind of feeling during that initial lockdown phase of, mental health, and then having to face your fears and your traumas, childhood being at the forefront of that for us, and the financial familiar reckoning that everybody's kind of also facing at the same time too. So we really took all those themes that I felt like the audience would really resonate with, and just kind of put that into the film, and just was like, all right, here we go. Here's a film.
So tell us about playing that role of Clay. How much of you is with Clay?
Well, I guess that really just boils down to who you ask, really. But if you ask my mom and my sisters, they might say a lot. And if you ask me, I'd say maybe not as much. But, I think we all, okay, so from a performance standpoint, I think we all connect to the characters to a degree. When it really came down to Clay, I think when it comes down to mental health issues, something that I've faced for such a long time in my life, especially more so in the last little bit as I address it and I'm more aware of it, I got to really fiddle with that aspect in terms of playing the Clay himself. But obviously, to a degree, Clay is just on a different level of a spectrum where it's more inflamed and he's really unraveling mentally. So it was challenging to be able to do a really good job. So Rouzbeh and I spoke to a psychotherapist from the University of Toronto who really gave us a little bit more insight. And then we just wanted to ensure that we didn't make a comic book character out of Clay to be disrespectful to those that do deal with Clay's mental health issues day to day. And so, playing him was really difficult, but at the same time, it was a challenge that we wanted to address really well. And I think we did a really good job in addressing that.
At the end of the day, was it easy to turn off that persona of Clay?
Nah, no, not too easy. And I feel like it's funny that you asked that. Nobody's asked me that yet. And I think it's funny because after I had finished Neon Lights is when I actually started therapy, because I never really acknowledged that there were some underlying issues. So I think for the first ever time I was addressing issues that I brought up in the work of playing Clay. So I don't think you ever really break away from traumas, which is something that I address, and I think it's something that the film will address as well. So great question, man.
Hey, thanks. Tell us about the significance about the different colored lights in your films. After all, it is called Neon Lights.
Yeah, so initially when I wrote the screenplay, it was just something that I had kind of experienced as when I first wrote Neon Lights. I went through a little town and saw all these neon lights at this carnival, and I thought it was really cool, really unique. But working with Rouzbeh, who's hyper intelligent, he's very specific in his work. He wanted to find some meaning behind the lights, not just lights for the sake of it. So it really came down to the characters and the personalities. And as you know, different colors emulate different personality traits and different feelings and different emotions. And so he really wanted to evoke all of that in the film itself. So then we got really specific with each light and with each character. What does the lighting mean to the characters themselves, and how does it emulate them? So that's where we really highlighted the lighting, and then obviously couple in the cinematography from Dimitri, and it just looks so brilliant.
Now, you mentioned Rouzbeh quite a bit throughout this interview. How much does he actually help you throughout this entire process?
Well, I think Rouzbeh just helps me my day-to-day on a personal level so much, but he's become really like my creative partner, but best friend as well. We did another film together, and we're on our third together. But Rouzbeh, when it came to Neon Lights itself, was very, very hyper-focused and very, very hyper, influential as well as involved. We began with the story itself. So I'd written Neon Lights a couple years ago on my way back from New York City. But when we were taking the story and condensing it, distilling it, and honestly making it better than what it was, he got really, really involved. And from everything from the character arcs, the developments, and the story itself, he was very, very involved. And then when we got to the location we were filming, he wanted to use certain elements, certain things. He's creating floor plans and looking at where he wanted to put the cameras. So from start to finish, he was participating, and then you get to post, and how much he participated in that is a testament towards how great the film is and how great of a director he is. I think he's gonna be listed as one of the best of our era when the world gets to see him the way I see him. And then, going forward, all other projects we work so diligently together on. So, he's very involved in everything that I do.
Great. And tell us about working with not one Coke's family member, but two in the same film.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because you always wonder what the dynamic's going to be like having a father and daughter on set together. They are such lovely people. But taking it past that, they're brilliant performers and artists. I mean, working with Brenna was just so seamless. It was so easy. She's a really, really great performer. Oh, I love the cat. My dog's right here. So I thought my dog was going to walk. But, she's so easy to work with. And then Kim is even easier. He's just so well experienced and well versed. Together, I think the audience is going to be really surprised at how the film unfolds, because it's almost like watching a devil and an angel who you just cannot get away with. Like, no matter where you turn, you're seeing them, right? And it's like it's like seeing the similarities in how they look and their eyes and all the different particulars and specificities, kind of just catering to Clay's unraveling. And so on set and then in the film, it's just a beautiful element to add into. And I just think I'm a blessed young man to have been able to do that.
That is terrific to hear. And one last thing before I let you go, you missed the full beard. I know you have a beard right now, but that was a much longer beard in the film.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Just so everybody knows, it's real. I spent about 3 months growing that baby out, and it was itchy, and I was trying to make it work, but I think it was a good touch, and it worked out real well.
Most excellent. Well, hey, congratulations on Neon Lights. Hey, thank you for carrying this conversation with us. It's an excellent film that touches upon mental health, and everyone should check it out. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.